So I went to work the next day, and in the offices in Vancouver, the stages, and basically they have a TV like this, and a camera on it, so you can Skype with Los Angeles, because Los Angeles is where they write the show, and where the producers are and stuff. So we make the show, or they make the show in Vancouver, physically, but the show's written and kind of produced down in Los Angeles. So you got meetings all the time. And we're doing a tone meeting where you go through every scene in the script and they tell you like, this is what this is supposed to be, this is what this is, in case you got a director who's fucking tone deaf and stuff. But as a big fan of the show, I was like tuned in, man. Like our tone meeting went fast because like, oh, I got this, don't worry and shit. So we got to that scene in the Big Belly parking lot. And Andrew Kreisberg, who's producer on the show, wonderful fucking guy, he's been on Fat Man and Batman. He goes, okay, so this is the scene with Girder in the parking lot. This is gonna be weird, but we wrote your friend Jay into the episode. I said, get the fuck out of here! I said, I was destroying him last night. I was mocking him, going, it's you, psych, and then pulling it away. I was teasing him, you guys are fucking serious? He said, yeah, it's meant to be him. I said, why would you write him into the episode? And they go, we just assumed he'd be with you. You're absolutely right. He fucking came to see Starling City and Central City and stuff, so he's here. And they were like, do you think he'd want to do it? And I was like, do I think he'd want to do it? Oh my God, I'm shocked he hasn't barged into your office, pushed you back in your chair, whipped your cock out, and been like, who do I gotta suck to get on the show? And Andrew goes, if I knew that was an option, I would have held out a little longer. He goes, you gonna ask him? You think he'll do it? I said, dude, I'll ask him. Trust me, it's formality. Like, this is done deal. Like, he fucking loves this shit. So I went back to the hotel and I was like, dude, remember yesterday when I was like, hey man, you're in the flesh? He goes, yeah, fucking, you're such a jerk. I was like, dude, you are in the flesh. They did write that for you. He immediately jumps up and he's like, I fucking knew it! I was like, yeah, man, I talked to them today, and they were just like, they assumed you'd be with me, so they wrote you into the show, and the motherfuckers like asked me if I would ask you if you would be in the Flash. And I've seen Jason cry twice in his life only. Once was last year, like 13 months ago, when his daughter was born, Logan, he named her after a snick and shit. I got a picture of him holding her and he's just wept and his eyes all wet and shit, and his face is red. Just happy, joy, man. He loves that kid. Second time I ever seen him cry was when I was like, you're gonna be on the CW. It was just like, oh God. He literally had the temerity to refer to it as the greatest job of his life. He's like, this is the height of my career. And I was like, you realize I wrote you a movie where you were the main character and your name was in the fucking title. I loved him, and we went to shoot, and it was like, you know, he's wearing this, if you've seen the episode, he's wearing the suit and shit like that, comes out of Big Belly Burger. He was very happy about that too, because he's like, they fucking never showed Big Belly Burger ever, man. You got to show it in your episode. That's canon right there. So we shot the scene. Everyone on set loved him. They were like, oh my God. People were like, how'd you get him to do this? What'd you have to pay him? I was like, nothing. In fact, if you want him to get you a coffee, I bet you'll fucking do it. He's just happy to be here and shit. So it took about like an hour and a half, 2 hours to shoot him out. He was done. And you know, when we wrapped him out, there's a picture up on Jason Mewes. And everybody took pictures with him, got shit signed. And we were going on with our night and stuff. I felt bad though, because like it was over for him, you know, and he loves that shit. Like he loves comic books. As much as I love comic books, this is a kid who came from, like I was lower middle class. Like my dad worked for the post office, my mom didn't work. And from time to time, we would eat government cheese. Jason was poverty line, so Jason was a food stamps kid, so he didn't even have like the few comics or toys that I had. He didn't have anything and shit, so he was a real hand-me-down kid, didn't have much, so he appreciated every fucking comic he got. It was like, manna from heaven and shit. Like I remember when he was a kid, he used to come into the recreation center, that's where I met him, where I worked with Walt Flanagan back in the day, and we covered Latchkey. Yes, Walt Flanagan. That's how deep this goes back. We'd watch kids, they'd come out of school like 3 o'clock after school. If you had parents that were working and shit, the kids come to the rec, we play football with them, foosball, whip some fucking pudding at them, and then send them home and shit. Babysitting essentially for 3 hours at the, you know, at the cost of the town was paying for it. So I've been there, I've been working there, I guess for a 1-year program, part of this CASE program, Latchkey Kid program. That's where I met Jason, that's where I met Walter and stuff. Walter didn't really talk to me for most of the time. He finally started talking at the end when I started talking about fucking comic books, man. So at one point I said to Walt, I'd been collecting, and I was like, you know, I got this run of Strike Force Moratorium. I'm not buying it anymore. I don't like this book. And I keep fucking buying it. I keep bagging boarding it. I'm gonna take it out of my shelf, take it off my shelf, man. I need to make space for books that I like. What do